There's a wonderful story. When I was in Phoenix, and I was on radio station KTAR there in the morning with Pat McMahon, and he was so excited and anticipating that Mother Teresa was coming to visit the studio, and she was going to be on the radio. And he's an Irish Catholic, and to have Mother Teresa in the same studio, it was just the highest point of his life. He was so excited. And when she came in, the night before, she had been sleeping at the homeless shelter that had been just dedicated there. And I don't know if you know this about Mother Teresa, but whenever she was away from her mission in Calcutta, she didn't eat. If she was away for 10 days, she didn't eat. She only drank water. And they would bring food to her wherever she was, if she was in Africa, or if she was in Albania, or if she was in Asia, and she would say, no, I just drink water when I'm away from the mission. And they said, but Mother Teresa, you're in your 80s. You can't just not eat for 10 days. Why would you do that? She said, because I have to know inside what the people that I serve are going through themselves. And this is the only way I know how to do it. I have to be able to experience it. And when she walked into the room, all of us knew that we were in the presence of a higher level of awareness. She was one of the people that selected me shortly after she died. In fact, the day that she died, I was speaking in Sydney, Australia, and someone came up and handed me a note just before I went on. It was 9 o'clock in the morning down there, but it was in the evening on the other side of the date line. And I said, isn't that just like her? It was the day of Princess Diana's funeral. To try to sneak out when no one was noticing. The whole world's attention was focused over here, and that's when she died. This selfless, egoless woman. And when she walked into the room, all of us knew that we were in the presence of that kundalini that I spoke about earlier, that feeling of the shower inside of you, was in all of us. She's about 4'10", maybe weighed 80 pounds at that. And Pat said to her, he said, Mother Teresa, is there anything that I can do for you? And this is someone who lived at the stateswoman consciousness or higher. And she said, no, Pat. She said, I'm just here to talk about the homeless shelter. And he said, Mother Teresa, he said, we have a very powerful radio station here, 50,000 watts. He said, we could generate an enormous amount of publicity for your mission in Calcutta and what you were doing. And she said, you know, I'm really not here for publicity. It doesn't interest me. But thank you. I just wanted to tell the people of Phoenix about your wonderful shelter where I slept last night and how it can help people who don't have a home. And he said, but Mother Teresa, he said, and he did what the ego always goes to, he said, we could raise a lot of money here today. And she said, I'm really not interested in money or even talking about it, but thank you very much. I just want to talk about the homeless shelter. Finally, Pat got down on his knees, and he almost begged her. He said, Mother Teresa, please, isn't there anything that I can do? And she said, there is one thing that you can do. You seem so serious, she said. She said, tomorrow morning, get up at 4 a.m. and go out onto the streets of Phoenix and find someone who's living there who believes that he's alone and convince him that he's not. That's what you can do. And I wept. And it's hard for me not to, even as I tell this story again and again.